Usually super happy to have people from all over the world here. That's the purpose. So just to give you some context for who is here for the first time, I'm Renata, the founder of REKONNEKT, and I'm super glad to have you all here today. So for those that don't know yet, REKONNEKT is a community of high performance people. So who come together through movement, growth, and learning. And the Fireside Chats is a way that I have to share stories that inspire, challenge, and connect us online because we are all over the globe. So we also host live experiences across Europe through hiking, skiing, and gravel. And in between those moments, to keep us connected, the Fireside Chats was a great way to keep us together. So today I'm especially excited because we have here a person that I have here in my heart, but has an amazing story, Lis Carvalho. Give a heads up, Lis. Joining us
Hello, everyone.
joining us all of the way from Australia. She's Brazilian originally, but lives in Australia. She has an incredible story, one of resilience, discipline, and unshakable positivity. Reason why we are together, right, Liz?
Yes,
She
absolutely.
inspires me every single day with her tenacity, consistency, and I am very sure that she's going to inspire all of you today as well. So, society often say that when you reach 40 years old, you are done, right? That we are, if we haven't made it by then, that's it. So, of course, this is not true. And Liz is here to prove it once again. So, at 47 years old, she became 200-meter butterfly swimming world champion this year. Also a silver medal with a second place, showing the power, vitality, and the limits, the limitless potential that we actually hold after 40. So we're going to dive today into her journey, the lessons that we learned, that she learned, and what's ahead. So Liz, the floor is yours.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I don't know if my story is that amazing, extraordinary, but I can only share some of it with you and my learnings and everything I learned along the way and what swimming actually has taught me and given me most of all. I'm actually, as Renata said, as a master swimmer, when I turned 40, I really thought that everything from there was gonna go downhill. Just no fact, nothing. I just thought that 40, we start getting old, the body starts to get old. And when I was 41, I had one of the best years competing as a masters athlete, and that the mindset kind of changed, because nobody told me. And I actually put that limitation on myself. Um, so I thought, well, since I put the limitation on myself, I'm the one who's gonna change it. So I'm going to maybe start give you a bit of the background about swimming and try to summarize, all these years and what led into the gold medal at the World Championship in Singapore this year. Because a lot of people just see the finish line and the medal, but it's my whole life training for this. So I think it's impossible to put it in 20 minutes, but I'm gonna try. I'm a lifelong swimmer, so I started swimming when I was really young, 3 or 4. I barely remember, just my parents put me in swimming lessons, because Brazil has a lot of beaches, coast, more for safety, and I just enjoyed and started just competing interclubs through school. And when I was 7, this is about of a sad period of my life. My mom became really sick. She had a very aggressive cancer, and she passed away. So my dad, not knowing what to do, actually put my sister and I in a lot of sports and activities, and a lot of swimming. I was swimming 3 times a week, and I'm just explaining this because I have a deep emotional connection with the water, and that's one of the reasons. And it was through mindfulness. I didn't know it was mindfulness at the time, but swimming and the water healed me. It truly healed my pain, healed, it made me stronger. It helped me process it because I was swimming 3 times a week. And I own a lot to swimming. Anyhow, so started competing, started to do well, moved to some squads. And a lot of people ask me why I swim butterfly, because it's the hardest stroke. And well, apparently it's the hardest stroke, but I don't think you choose butterfly. Butterfly chooses you. And I had a coach when I was 12, 13, Albertino Silva. He now coaches the Brazilian national team. And some coaches are quite quirky, and he thought it would be a great idea to put all the swimmers in the 200 butterfly event, which is arguably the hardest event in swimming, because when you die hard, and you really don't think you're going to finish your 200, your last lap. So he thought it was a good idea to put all of us through this pain. And when everybody was dying, I started speeding up, and I actually excelled, and I did an excellent time. I nearly broke a state record. And that, from that day onwards, that became my event. Um, a few months after that, I won my first state championship at 14 and kept training harder. I was Brazilian age group champion at 17 years old. With 18, I moved to the US. I obtained an athletic scholarship to swim at a university in Maryland. So I did competitive swimming for an American university for 4 years, and that was amazing. That was really tough because I had the athletic scholarship, but I also had to get good grades. So if you didn't get good grades, you lost the scholarship. But if I didn't swim well, so you had to be high performance, both in your studies and in the pool. And I actually have a photo here. I won the conference championship. I'm just gonna share the screen. When I was 20 years old, I won a gold medal. Share photos. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it.
No,
So
no, not yet. I can't see
not
anybody
yet.
else. No.
Okay, not yet. I'm sorry. Share. There you go. So that was little me, 20 years old. And that's actually one of my teammates. And I'm just sharing that because that meant a lot to me to go to the US. And there weren't that many foreign girls in the team. And that was my first trophy, my first gold medal in the 200 butterfly. Um, Anyhow, graduated, 23 years old, had enough of swimming. I've been swimming my whole life. I've liked to do other things, different things. So I enrolled to do a master's degree, and I felt that I dedicated a lot of time to swimming, that I wanted to study as well. So from the United States, I moved to London to study, and did my master's degree there. Ended up did a few more years, started working as a translator and interpreter, and then I moved to Australia in 2007. So then I had about 6 years. That was my break, and there was something missing in my life. There was something, that there was a niche, and deep inside I knew it was swimming, but I didn't know how to approach it because it was always high performance. So I just joined a master's team. I just want to do it for fitness, swim 2, 3 times a week, meet new people as well. I had only been living in Australia for a year. So I joined PowerPoints here in Melbourne, and they're still my team. And then they tried to convince me to compete, but the first year I said, no, I don't want to compete anymore. This is just for fun. And because I didn't realize that I had to change, that the expectations were different. It was more about self-achievement. So I decided, okay, I'll give it a go and I'll try. And but I won't be swimming the 200 butterfly, no way. I'll swim other events. And I did a couple of state championships. And then I finally thought, okay, I'm ready for the 200 butterfly. And because I didn't have the expectations, I think I swam really well, and I was happy with whatever result I got, because I'm only training a few times a week. But and then I realized that my times weren't too far off when I used to swim 16, 20 hours per week, and I was just swimming maybe 8 or 10. And so I guess the world champ, this is 10 years onwards. I didn't want to go to worlds either, and I don't know, for some reason, because it was in Singapore this year, is nearby, and I just thought I'll go. But I actually want to train serious, not serious for this, but I want to be on the blocks prepared, knowing that I'm prepared for it. And it was 1 year of hard work. I had a friend who wrote a training program for me, that involved like swimming, gym. I can talk more about it if you like to know what my schedule looked like, and juggling and balancing everything with life, with work, working full time, and having a partner and social life. And I have a side hustle as well with which is dog sitting. But so the competition was 4 days long, and I swam the 50 fly, 100 fly, and 200 fly. And for the 50 fly, I'm not really a sprinter, but I think I trained well for all three events. And on day one, I came fourth. And fourth is the abyss, when you come fourth, you just miss the podium by 300 of a second. And you can't even see, it's not visible to the eye, So I wasn't happy, but I just thought that's okay. You just have to regroup and turn up again tomorrow for the 100 fly. And swam the 100 fly, and then I came second. And it was I would say it was my best race, because it was a tight race, and the girl that came first, she just swam better. But then day three, okay, 200 fly, this is my event. Today is my day. And I'm gonna share another photo with you here again. Um, um, this photo. Can you see on the block? There's only a couple seconds from when you hear the whistle, you get on the blocks, and the ref says, take your marks. And that's me taking my marks, and then you hear the gun. And between the take your marks and your start, your whole life goes through your head. Your training, your self-doubt. It's amazing in those 2 seconds, all the conversations that you can have with yourself and in your brain. And I just remember, I'm glad my teammate took a photo, because I just remember being so nervous, but the moment I get in the water, the moment I dove in the water, I felt everything's okay. I got this. I just had this amazing sense of confidence that I trust myself, I believe in myself, and I got this. And that's how it was. I'm gonna share. It was official photo. Yeah, on the podium with the other girls, a Swiss girl and a German girl. So the German came second, Swiss came third, and it was just probably one of the best feelings I've ever felt in my life. When I touched the wall and I won. And actually, the girl on my right, she gave me the biggest hug. I barely knew her, but she was just so happy, and I was happy for her. And we just had the longest hug. And it's funny when you just hug a stranger for we just had the longest hug with the feeling of achievement, self-accomplishment, and I don't know, no money cannot buy those feelings ever, ever. Um, so that's one of and that's both medals, the silver and the gold also for my 200 flyer worlds. Um, I don't know what else you'd like me to talk about, so I guess I'll let Renata, and if you have any questions, to ask the questions, and I'll be happy to answer.
Bianca, go for it.
Thank you. That's a phenomenal story, Lisandra. I love that. Well done. Congrats. Wondering,
Thank
do you do
you.
any strength training as well, along with the pool stuff,
Yep.
weights
Yep.
and etc.?
And especially coming back as a master swimmer, and as a woman, in my late 30s and 40s, strength training is so, so important. And I actually had a program written specifically for swimming, for hydrodynamics. How can I be efficient in the water? What muscles do I use in the water, in the butterfly? Um, and what's going to help me swim faster, basically. So I did 2 sessions, ideally minimum 2 sessions. If the stars align with work and everything, I could go to the gym on a Sunday and do a third session. So I was basically swimming 4 to 5 sessions, 2 to 3 gym sessions, and 1 yoga. I don't think I stretch enough, so for me, that's where yeah, it forces me to stretch. So
Amazing.
that's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can I ask you another question, Renata, please?
100%.
What do you think's the difference between your body when you're in your teens, 20s at college and now? What do you think are the key
Yeah,
differences?
absolutely. The I think I train a lot smarter now, because recovery takes longer. So I can't do, or try to avoid to do 2 hard sessions back to back, so I'll do a very intense session, ease off, to allow my body to recover, to do another, as opposed to, I could just go hard, hard, hard before. So recovery is a very, very important part of training now as well. Sleep, and not doing too many sessions, too many hard sessions in a row. And I also started doing saunas. I was doing ice baths too, but I found that my body responded better to saunas. So at least once a week after training, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, spend some time in the sauna. So help increase the blood flow and the recovery.
That's awesome. Paul, go for it. You're muted. You're muted.
I'll go off mute. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hi, Liz. Thank you. We don't know each other, but it was a very, very inspiring story. So congrats to that. I do have a
Thanks,
question.
Paul.
You were just talking about in my view, the more physical side of it, right? But what
Oh,
really
yeah.
was appealing to me in the first instance of your story is the healing effect of you being in the water. So that to me is more a physiological side of it or a more mental side of it.
Yeah.
And the question I've got now is that you feel that you're now in a position that the water is still healing for you, but it's better balanced, right? And
Yeah.
therefore you can get to the better results. Is that what you're trying to get across as well?
Exactly. But Paul, also swimming, it's a sport that adds up. You need consistency in swimming, and I think a lot of other sports or other aspects of life, you do not see immediate improvement. You have to stay consistent to see small improvements, and then you have to persevere when you don't see the improvement. So perseverance is another aspect, that comes into play as well. So I also learned to be patient, to stay consistent, to trust the process, along the journey as well. So that's I guess and I feel I'm better equipped now than I was when I was younger, to have those skills. And you just learn with time, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you. Over to you,
Liz,
Renata.
yeah, I will make a question that I think it's very interesting. When I see you, it's like if you are Clark Kent, right? You have the glasses, you are harmless, right? Then we see the picture of you on the block and you're a gun. You're so strong, like with your shirt, when you work, you don't see your muscles and your strength and everything, which with that comes a shift of a mindset as well, right? Because you can't be, or maybe you can, and that's where my question is, how do you do that shift, right, from your Clark Kent to Superman, or better said, like I don't know the equivalent for a female, but
Yeah.
like you're there with your glasses, harmless, walking your dog in the park, and people meeting you, not even knowing what you can do, right? With your mind and your body, and then you being a superwoman there in the block, like just going for it. So
Yeah.
that change, and also the practice that you do for, so two questions in one, if you can.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think, I'm not, I think maybe my clothing and the glasses might change, but I don't think, my behavior changes that much. I mean, the pool is where I feel at home. The pool is, it's fun. I love being in the pool, and where I can also be competitive, but I'm competitive with myself, with it's a race against myself, my results. How can I execute a race, and that I plan for myself as well? And I guess me working, I don't know if there's the two Lisandras, the glasses and the dress my say different things, but I think small efforts, consistency, with my work adds up too. And I don't think I'm that different. What was the other question?
The
Wait.
practices, what do you do in terms of working your mind, even for the pain, right? Because it's painful.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
Yep. Something else that I learned, that a different approach that I started to have as a mature swimmer, in terms of because the pain might put you off, it might affect your motivation as well. And I have a different approach, which is curiosity. Now, when I'm tired, when I'm in pain, I ask myself, what can my body achieve at this level of pain? What times, what kind of training session can I produce after a hard gym session? So it's more curiosity rather than, expectation. So I make space to observe and to be curious about how I feel, allow myself to feel. So I think I would say curiosity would be the answer to your question of dealing with pain nowadays, rather than, just take the pain, embrace the pain, but, be more curious about it. Where's the pain? Where is it burning? How can I deal with this better? It's not gonna stop, but how can I ease this pain?
That's awesome. Tanya, thank you. Tanya, go for it.
Absolutely.
Lisandra, congratulations. I wasn't aware, but I have to say, I'm not surprised. I work with Lisandra in very challenging scenarios, so I can see how she's got this. But I have a question also in terms of your balance.
Yeah.
How do you manage? Because, and I think that's a practice that we all try to strive, but obviously at such a level of achievement and that requires high performance, how do you manage your compartmentalizing all these aspects and getting
Yeah.
the time? Because she's always smiling. She's not always, she's like this most of the time, I have to say, for those of us who work with her.
And it's funny because I don't talk much about swimming at work or at the dog park, or if you see me, it's very rare. Or if I had a race and people ask me, how did you swim in Singapore? I don't know. I just say, I swam well, thank you. That's the end of unless you were there or unless you were on my Instagram. But for me, it's time management, and for me, training works in the morning. And I've worked that out, so early mornings for me, and allocating that time in the morning for my training and for myself, that works. And that will allow me, to have, the work journey 9 to 5. We're not really 9 to 5. We're translators and interpreters, and we work for ourselves. And I say I try. Sometimes I work until 8, 9 p.m. But I also try to get enough sleep. Even if I have a longer day, just sleep is important, and allocating time for my training and work. And it's just really time management. You become efficient with repetition as well, I think.
And this will be the end of my question, but
No.
how do you manage the social aspect or your family time, which includes your pets, that time?
Yeah, I it's so included. My
Yeah.
my diary, is so well divided.
Yeah.
And but I make sure, because my social life is important, my friends are important, my husband is important. And and sometimes, even though I can be tired, but I try to be present as well. And I just have a very strict diary from meals. When I eat my meals, I take my dog every day to the dog park twice. I don't want to, it's like the highlight of my day for me as well. I love spending time, and play with my cat. And so I just make sure, that in a day I can fit everything. And I have to say, sometimes I'm very tired at the end of the day. I'm exhausted, but
Yeah.
it's good because it helps me sleep. I'm in bed and I close my eyes, and then I just sleep. So I think time management again, and just having a strict diary, and also organizing the priorities, organizing. So um, when I'm productive, so that's when I gonna do the hardest part of my work as well. I think, yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for sharing. I found it very inspirational too.
Thanks, Tanya. Thank you.
It's awesome. Matteo, do you want to ask something? He's muted. Adele, go for it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Liz, for that story. I'm just really blown away. So again, congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
really interested, like just thinking about the motivation to come back into the competitive swimming. Like how do you how long did that take? Was it just one day you woke up, or did it take kind of
No,
a
it
period
took
of
a lot
time?
for my teammates to convince me, because they said it's master swimming, it's not that serious, and I didn't believe them, because I hadn't seen it. And master swimming is very social. And in the marshalling room, even when we do nationals here, states, it's more relaxed, it's more social. I guess some people are very nervous and focused, but it for me, I had my doubts. It wasn't, I did it, and I was reluctant, but the moment from my first competition onwards, I loved it, and I really enjoyed. And I I felt that sense of self-achievement, and it was fun as well, Right now it's fun, and I enjoy, and it makes sense to me. And the moment it's not fun, the moment, I stop enjoying it, then I guess it's time to stop. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Great. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris, go for it.
Yeah, hi Liz. You kind of finished off with the answer to my question there.
Okay.
And I love how you've been training most of your life to become an overnight success. You've built this up along the way, and yeah, it's always the way. So what's next? I mean, you sort of alluded to you don't see the finish soon, and you've gold medaled, and was that the pinnacle? Was that the purpose of the last so many years, or is there something else on the horizon now?
Yep, yep. I'm gonna share a story that it took a while to sink in after, I became the world champion. I have trouble saying it, but anyhow, when in Singapore, when when I went back to my room that evening, after the presentation, and I shared the photos with you, and there was this note on the front door, and there were other people from my team. By the way, I would like to talk about my team too, and the community, and having a team, what it means to me. But there was this note on my door, world champion. And I don't know, I just paused, because I was like, no, that's not my room, I'm in the wrong room. And this is when it sunk in, all the hard work. And to be honest, Chris, at the moment, I'm just enjoying it. I'm just enjoying it. I kind of have other goals, but I just feel with my other achievements, I won, and I was thinking, what's next? And when I'm thinking what's next, I put this behind me. And I still
For the
don't, I'm not
moment.
ready to put this behind me yet, you know. I think I will go back to the block. I think I'll do nationals next year, Australian Masters Nationals Championship. There is another World Championship in 2027. Not sure if I want to go to that one yet. I have to think about it. But at the moment, I'm back in the pool. I'm training, not as intense, I'm 3 times a week. I'm just having fun. And when I feel that it's ready, I'm gonna crank it up and
Mm-mm.
set a goal to start training again. But Chris, to be honest, I'm just really enjoying this at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you deserve it. Well done, brilliant. Renata, 2027, the Reconnect trip to World Champs.
Ah, there is something I want to ask her here before.
Just saying.
Liz,
It's
you
in
show that?
Budapest.
Can you show
So,
that
Perfect.
word champion note again? So just I can take a screenshot because it's too good.
yeah, yeah.
Just very quickly here, a pause for advertising. That's awesome. That's so good.
I know, it's just something so simple. It's my teammate, it's the note block from the hotel written in pen, but I don't know, it had so much meaning for me. Yeah.
So for those that didn't know, which probably most of you here in this call didn't know, I think Liz is awesome on the pool, but she's also awesome in open waters. And it's not that she goes and do 200 meters butterfly open waters. She does 20 kilometers open waters. So this is something else, because then it's you being not a few seconds or minutes under the water in pain, it's being hours. And when I say hours, it's not 1 hour, it's 5 hours.
5 hours.
So can you share with us a little bit of that? Because this is
Yeah.
not just the next level of pain, but I think it's definitely you being comfortable with yourself for so long.
For so
Right?
long.
And
Yeah.
maybe share with us a little bit your transition into open waters, and why did you chose the actual marathons, like to do these for so long? Like you
To
could
do
do
the
shorter
long
ones.
swims. Yeah.
Yes.
So I started swimming again in just swimming in the pool, and I think all over Australia, all the states, they have their open water season, which is normally, yeah, it's from November, December to April. And again, my teammates, I have great teammates. They say, you should try. It's fun. It's different, different approach to the pool. Obviously more endurance, different type of training, but um, it just feels so much freedom in the ocean. So I thought I'll give it a go. And the first one I did was in Anglesey. It was 1 kilometer, 1,200 meters, just about 15 to 20 minutes swimming. And again, I did really well. First, I won that race, but I had no idea where I was going. Luckily the men started ahead of us, so I was following them, because different type of skill set. There's sighting, you gotta see where you're going. There's the finish line, and completely different from pool swimming. But I enjoyed that, and then some people in my team, they were doing like the longer 5Ks. So in swimming, marathon swim is 10 kilometers, okay? Because it takes about between 2.5 hours to swim. Well, for a lot, average good swimmers, 2 to 2.5 hours. And the ultra marathon would be the 20Ks. So it's I don't know, it was a period of my life that I wanted to experiment, and I started training for the 5K swim, and that went really well. I finished and I thought I had fuel in the tank. And then I did my first 10Ks, and I turned out completely unprepared. And Renata was with me, because for these longer swims, a lot of times you need a support, a kayaker, because there's feeding involved. If it's not a loop, if it's a straight line, you need somebody there with you, to help you with the feeding. You stop, drink water, have a gel, and but even though I wasn't that well prepared, I still swam well, because I do love being in the water, and I do love the mindfulness aspect of it. Water be in the water for me. You know, swimming is just a rhythm, it's just a breathing, it's just repetition of strokes, you know, and that's pretty much what mindfulness is, you know. You go inside, you pay attention to your breathing, you know, the cycles, and just be comfortable, observe your thoughts in your head, you know, deal with them as they pass. And when you're 5 hours with your head in the water, there's time to think about a lot of things. But I've always enjoyed, and luckily, you know, I'm very lucky that my body enabled me to do it. I've had injuries along the way, but I think I'm very lucky that my body still allows me and allow me to do also that kind of training and that kind of swimming.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I have one more. I have so many questions, but I will open if somebody else wants to ask something for her. Liz, I'm gonna ask you something else then, and join in here so people can get to know you better.
Yeah, of course.
How did all the moves of countries that you've done and new communities that you have to build and new friendships and a new group and a new swimming pool, all of that, right? I think that one of the things we are in Reconnect that I truly believe on is, because I experienced myself, but I want to know your story, is how the sport and the movement connect us with other people, with other peers, especially when we are moving from one place to the other, right? So how did the swim or any other sport or anything else that you've done, maybe you can share other options that is not just swimming, you know, 20,
No,
200
no.
helped you to connect with the community, with people, and build that, you know, into your life again?
Listen, because I'm gonna focus on the swimming too, but there's also, I guess, the people I studied with as well, and I have my good community, my peers, my translators and interpreters here as well. But I guess for swimming is just turning up every day and just to supporting my teammates and getting their support. So in the US, I had a swim team, and all my friends, until nowadays, even though I haven't seen them in 10, 15 years, that we're still good friends. We talk, we share stories, we share happy moments, painful moments. Moved to England, and that's where it was all about studying, master's degree. So I created a good community within my study group, you know, just um, creating connections through, you know, we wanted to achieve something, which was the masters, and late nights in the library together, studying, writing, creating papers, dissertations, you know, it's a lot of it is all about sharing. And I just have a wonderful team here in Australia too, you know, and I actually get excited to swim with them. And also, I have one of the stories, you know, once one of my teammates, something happened to her, and she was very sad, and she called me and she said, I need to get in the water. Can you come and swim with me? But we just swam together. We didn't talk about it, you know, just swimming side by side. And I didn't feel like I had to ask. I gave her space. If you want to share, you share. But I'm here with you in the water next to you. But, you know, and towards the end, she kind of told me what she was sad about. And I think it just helps us create space, you know, to share feelings as well, to open up. Um, Also, you know, the messages of support that I received, and that I send my teammates, you know, if they're going to a competition somewhere, you know, it's when you truly want to see your friend thrive, you know, but getting that back, you know, like truly seeing my teammates happy for me, you know, and that creates just such a strong bond. Um, Actually, today I showed my medals to one of my teammates, because after Worlds I went away and I came back, and and she had tears in her eyes, and because she was happy for me, and that made me so emotional, because I don't even know her that well, but just the fact that somebody can be that happy for you, it's truly something.
100%. There is something that is called going back into your when you got the ticket on your door of the paper, right, of a world champion, and that you say, wow, like I've done it. That's called hedonic adaptation. I don't know if anybody already heard about this before, which is when you want to achieve something so bad and all your life is devoted to that goal, and then when you achieve it, it becomes normal and you're already looking to the next one. So it's what summarized that is the quote of, when you get to the top of the mountain, it's just the bottom of the next, right? So it's like it's never enough, like you're gonna keep going, like you wanted the world championships, you achieved it, that was the biggest thing for you, but now it's like normal, right? So I wouldn't say normal, but it feels like unreal, right? Like even to say, as you
Yeah.
say, it's just
After the race, I'll share this. After the race, after the 200 fly, there were about 25 people from my team that went to Singapore to compete, and a lot of them were there to watch me. And after the race, we had the presentation. There was quite a wait, and they were still there, and I was confused. I was like, why are you guys still here? You're racing tomorrow, And they were like, no, we're here to watch you get on the podium, we want to watch you. We're happy for you. And it took a while to sink in, and I was like, okay, all right, they're here for me.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Chris, go for it.
Hi, sorry, as you're going through your stories, it's just coming up with more and more for me. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I'm going back slightly, so bear with me.
Yeah.
I love how you're like, nah, I'm not going to swim. All right, I might turn up for a little swim, and then you're like, I'm not going to compete, and then you go through these moments of, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. When it comes to worlds, though, I mean, I could go for a swim in my local pool. Doesn't mean that I'm going to end up going to worlds. So what was that person or that word or that moment where you suddenly shifted from, I'm just going to go for a swim, it's really social and cool,
Yeah.
to,
Yep.
oh my God, okay, we've got to ramp this up.
Yep. For me, it was the moment that I entered the competition. Okay. Right now, I'm creating a goal. I created a goal to go to Worlds, and I'm gonna fly all the way to Singapore. I'm gonna spend some money. I'm gonna spend some time, and when I'm there on the blocks, that moment I showed you, I want to feel I'm prepared and that I did everything I could, to race. And yes, I want to win, but I want to execute my plan. I want to honor all my trainings, all my choices I did prior to that. So for me, it was okay, we're gonna enter this, and now I have a goal, and I want to work towards this goal. So all my planning, all my focus now goes to that. And your training and time, and when you taper, I like comparing to a spring. So you're compressing everything, and that moment when the gun goes off, the spring pops, and that's when you have to perform. Everything came down to that moment. So for me, it was just setting the goal, Chris.
That's so good. Liz, I'm going to ask you a question here from Matteo because his microphone isn't working.
Okay.
He asked, hi, Liz. I imagine becoming a world champion takes having a great team around you, people who support and push each other to keep improving. How much of a difference would you say the right group makes in the grand scheme of things?
It makes a huge difference. It really matters. I train not with a large group during the week, but on weekends, I train with my team, but also have people that push you. The faster swimmers than me in the team, and I love swimming with them, because they push me. And there's swimmers that are slower as well. But the people that support you go, I have a friend that doesn't even swim butterfly, but I don't like swimming by myself, and I call her to swim butterfly with me, and she doesn't like it, but she does it for me, that's most friends wouldn't even pick up my call, but having friends that go the extra mile for you as well, and being surrounded by people that have similar goals, similar mindsets, it makes a difference. It means a lot too.
100%. The environment you are on makes the whole
Absolutely,
difference.
and there was, like I said, my team has 50 plus people, only 25 went to Singapore, but the training sessions leading up to it, we're doing a lot of sprint sessions on the blocks, and we are lining up to race with each other, and it's a healthy competition, it's just healthy training, racing each other, not, I beat you, but, just trying to be the best version of yourself as well.
100%. Matteo says you need a team of players around you. That's actually a very good segue for us to start to wrap up today's Fireside Chat. We can be here forever talking to you, which, by the way, team, good news is that Lis, other than swimming, she loves hiking. So we're
I
gonna
love
take
hiking.
her.
I love
Yes.
hiking. Yes.
Yes, not on the bike. I tried once to take her on the bike, but we passed the bike riding, but definitely the
Balance
hiking.
is really hard for swimmers, okay? Balance is really hard, yes.
So hiking is one of her favorite things to do outdoors. So we are gonna bring her for a hiking event for sure, because she's amazing, and we can just literally be sitting around the fire talking to her the whole night, day, whatever, because it's just one topic after the other after the other. Ellen is saying here, hiking in Victoria. Yes, you can connect with her there and go for a hike with her.
Absolutely,
In Melbourne.
absolutely.
Yeah, because she's based in Melbourne. But we're gonna come everybody to Europe. So thank you so much, Lis, for giving us your time to be here and share your amazing story, your wisdom, your energy. This is so powerful. This group here for this Fireside Chat is our A team. This is what I want to create. I am creating, it is already here, right? With the Fireside Chats online. I know it's 1 hour of your day in front of a screen, but that's why I want to make it very worth it. So it's 1 hour that's very powerful. We're gonna leave this conversation inspired, something is sparking on you. Even I'm gonna, organize my diary better, or, I'm gonna prioritize my training, or when I feel some pain, I will reframe this in my mind so then it can be, beneficial for me. So thank you everyone for joining, showing up, being curious, being part of this incredible community that believes in connection, movement, and growth. So if today's conversation here with Lis sparked something on you, a thought, a feeling, a question, don't let it go. Stay connected with us. If you're not signing up to our newsletter, it's free. Just go there, put your email. You're going to receive every week. I send the new topics and the new people coming up. And I also ask a lot of questions to the group of what do you want to hear, what do you want to listen, who do you want to meet? And I will do the groundwork to get this person in front of us. And the other very important thing is share. Share this with your friends, share this with the people that you believe that are in the same mind space. They want to grow, they want to learn, they want to keep inspired. This is so important. This is not a secret society. What I want to achieve with this is big. It is already, but it can be even bigger if you share. So thank you so much for being here. I will looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks with Bernardo, which is I wouldn't say a male version from Liz, but it's pretty close. A lot of
And
energy. Yes, tell me.
and to finish, I will share with you too, because I'm very proud of them.
Oh, here it is.
There they are. And they're actually the same medals that the open, the elites, so if you know any Australian swimmers, Kelly McKeown or Cam McAvoy, or a lot of them are walking around. So it was cool because they had the competition 2 weeks before us, and then the Masters came. So yeah, so this is for the 4-year-old that started swimming, for that 7-year-old that lost her mom, for the 14-year-old that won her first state competition, they moved to the US, they had self-doubts and then came back and persevered.
That's so good. Thank you so much. Don't forget to connect with Liz. She's on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Just